You won't believe what they found here. From the depths of the ocean, these explorers made discoveries that defy our imagination. Curious? Join us as we learn about these shocking discoveries at the bottom of the ocean. Let's go. Number 20. The Phantom Medusa. Deep in the ocean, where light no longer reaches, lives one of the most mysterious creatures on the planet, the giant ghost jellyfish. Imagine an apparition. With a bell that's over a meter wide and tentacles that reach 10 meters long, this creature looks like a bridal veil floating in the darkness. The craziest thing? Since it was discovered in 1899, it has only been seen 9 times. It's rarer than many mythological creatures. Its body is practically transparent with reddish tones, as if it were a real ghost wandering the depths. Scientists go crazy trying to study this elusive creature. Even in highly explored places like Monterey Bay, it remains one of the ocean's best-kept secrets. Number 19. The Indian Ocean UFO. At 3,700 feet below the surface, cameras on a remotely operated vehicle have captured something extraordinary. A creature that seems to defy our understanding of marine life. This gelatinous, translucent creature demonstrates a unique ability to transform, changing its shape in response to the movements of the water. Initially mistaken for an underwater UFO, the organism was later identified as a rare species of cone jellyfish, with black pigmentation that makes it virtually invisible in the depths. Its most impressive ability? It can expand its stomach to consume prey nearly its own size. Number 18. The drug dealer's plane. In the crystal-clear waters off Norman's Cay in the Bahamas lies a sinister piece of history. A World War II plane that belonged to Pablo Escobar's drug empire. The plane crashed in 1980 during a smuggling operation, but the crew managed to save their cargo before swimming to safety. Today, nature has transformed this relic of crime into something positive. An artificial reef teeming with marine life. Coral has taken over the fuselage, and colorful fish make their home among the twisted wings. It's as if the ocean has decided to give this dark story a happy ending, transforming a symbol of crime into a marine sanctuary. I have a question for you. First, I'd like to tell you that it's possible to keep up with the biggest curiosities of our world every day. But for that, you need to be subscribed to our channel. So have you subscribed yet? If not, take the opportunity to subscribe now. Now that you've done that, let's go. Number 17. The finger of death. In polar waters, a terrifying phenomenon known as a brinacle, or finger of death, freezes everything in its path. This natural process occurs when salt water seeps through cracks in the sea ice and mixes with cold ocean water, forming a structure that resembles a deadly finger of ice, reaching down toward the seafloor. Brinicles are veritable death traps for marine life. Sea urchins, starfish, and small fish are instantly trapped when touched by this glacial formation, creating what scientists call black pools of death. Number 16. The Garden of Giant Eels. Deep in the waters of the South Pacific, scientists have discovered something straight out of a horror movie. A garden of giant eels living in volcanic tubes. These creatures, which can grow to be 2 meters long, have developed a unique survival technique. They build their homes in hydrothermal vents, cracks in the ocean floor that expel hot water. The eels capture their prey using a bizarre method. They synchronize their movements as if they were a field of dancing grass, hypnotizing small fish that pass by. Number 15. The spine of the sea giant. In the frigid waters of the Arctic, a group of travelers made a breathtaking discovery. An intact spine of a fin whale, preserved as an underwater relic, rested majestically on the ocean floor. The skeleton belonged to the second largest animal on the planet, capable of diving to depths of more than 230 meters. These colossal creatures produce sounds louder than an airplane engine, reaching 188 decibels, a communication that can travel distances of up to 850 kilometers in the ocean depths. And the most fascinating thing? Polar bears were seen feeding on the remains for more than a year before the photograph was taken, yet the skeleton remained remarkably well preserved. Number 14. 3 Days Under the Sea. Harrison O'Kenny's story is an extraordinary testament to human resilience. In 2013, while working as a cook on a Nigerian tugboat, tragedy struck his life. The ship capsized and sank 100 feet below the surface, but Okene miraculously survived in an air pocket in the capsized hull. For 60 hours, he remained alone in the darkness, using 2 stacked mattresses to keep himself above the rising water. While his 11 crewmates perished in their rooms, Okene held on to his sanity in the small space that became his salvation, until he was rescued in an operation that left divers stunned when they found him alive. Number 13. Swimming between continents. In the heart of Iceland, there is a place that seems like something from another world. the Silfra Fissure. Here, you can literally swim between two continents. The water is so crystal clear that you can see more than 100 meters ahead. It's like floating on air. This incredible crack was created after a massive earthquake in 1789, and today, it separates the tectonic plates of North America and Eurasia. The water comes straight from the Langyakul Glacier, which explains its mesmerizing silvery blue color. The most impressive spot is the Silfra Deep Crack, where you can literally take a photo between two continents. And what's more, there is even a place called Troll's Hair, where green algae dance in the water like strands of floating hair. Number 12, the Lake Michigan Ship Graveyard. At the bottom of Lake Michigan, a chilling discovery awaited explorers. Dozens of perfectly preserved ships, as if time had stood still. The lake's fresh, icy water has created a sort of natural time capsule, keeping even the most delicate details of the ships intact. Among the most impressive finds is the Lady Elgin, a passenger ship that sank in 1860. The tragedy of the shipwreck is told by the personal belongings still scattered across the deck. Shoes, dishes, and even children's toys that never reached their destination. Number 11. The Underwater Museum of Cancun. In the warm waters of the Mexican Caribbean, an underwater art gallery tells silent stories through its 500 life-size sculptures. Musa, Museo Subaquático de Arte, has transformed the seabed into a unique exhibition where each piece serves as a base for coral growth. The statues, created mainly by British artist Jason DeCaires Taylor, rest at depths of between 3 and 6 meters, creating a spectacle accessible to both divers and those who prefer to observe through glass-bottom boats. Among the most impressive works is a life-size Volkswagen Beetle, which now houses an incredible diversity of marine life, symbolizing the transformation of the artificial into a natural habitat. Number 10. The Underwater Waterfall. It seems impossible, but there really is an underwater waterfall. In the Denmark Strait, between Greenland and Iceland, scientists have discovered something unique, an underwater waterfall 3,500 meters high, 3 times higher than Mount Everest. The phenomenon occurs because the cold, dense water of the Arctic falls over the warmer water of the Atlantic, creating a cascade that is invisible to the human eye, but powerful enough to influence the climate of the entire planet. Every second, it pours out the equivalent of 2,000 Olympic swimming pools of water. Number 9. The Embrace of the Giant of the Deep. In the crystal clear waters of Vancouver Island, an unforgettable encounter changed everything we knew about giant octopuses. Andrea Humph, an experienced diver with over 675 dives under her belt, experienced something straight out of an underwater fairy tale. A giant Pacific octopus, instead of running away as it normally does, decided to give the diver a hug. This impressive creature, with tentacles the size of basketballs and a body big enough to fill a bucket, demonstrated a behavior never before recorded. The most incredible thing? The octopus not only wrapped its enormous tentacles around Andrea, but also gave her a kiss, touching its tentacle to the diver's lips through her mask. In her own words, it was the most extraordinary experience of her life, something that not even her 12 years of underwater exploration could have prepared her for. Number 8. The Lost Underwater City. Deep in the Aegean Sea, divers have stumbled upon something straight out of a fairy tale. An entire underwater city, with perfectly preserved streets, buildings, and even statues. Pavlopitri, as it is known, is over 5,000 years old, and is the oldest underwater settlement ever discovered. The crystal clear waters provide such clear views that you can virtually stroll through ancient Greek streets. Archaeologists have found everything from household items to jewelry, showing that life back then was much more sophisticated than we imagined. Number 7. The Mysterious Holes of the Ocean. Deep in the ocean, where the darkness is almost total and the pressure is crushing, divers have discovered something that defies logic, a series of perfectly aligned markings on the seabed. These are no ordinary natural formations. They are precise, meticulously arranged trails in patterns that appear to have been made by some intelligence. Theories about their origin vary wildly. Some scientists suggest they may be the result of underwater volcanic activity, while others speculate that they may be the result of unknown sea creatures. Most intriguing, the mathematical precision of the markings does not match any known pattern in marine biology, leaving even the most skeptical experts without a definitive explanation. Number 6. The glowworm of the ocean. Imagine stumbling upon a glowing 26-foot tube floating in the ocean. That's exactly what divers found near New Zealand. A giant pyrosome, a creature that looks like it's straight out of a sci-fi movie. But here's the crazy part. It's not just one creature. It's a colony of thousands of tiny organisms working together. Each tiny creature in this colony filters its own food, like a super-organized underwater city. And the most incredible thing? They glow. That's right, they produce their own light through bioluminescence, creating a unique show in the depths of the ocean. Turtles and lobsters love this marine delicacy and often stay attached to these creatures for weeks, enjoying every bite of this nutritious feast. It's like a natural floating restaurant. Number 5. The river under the sea. Off the coast of Mexico, there's something that will make you doubt your eyes. A river that flows underwater. In Cenote Angelita, near Tulum, nature has created an underwater magic trick. Freshwater and saltwater don't mix, creating a division so clear that it looks like someone drew a line in the ocean. But the show doesn't stop there. At the bottom of this underwater river, entire trees float like aquatic ghosts. It's like those scenes from fantasy movies, but for real. The secret? A cloud of hydrogen sulfide forms a dense layer that separates the waters, creating this crazy effect. When you dive there, it's like entering two different worlds at the same time. Divers say the sensation is so strange that it takes a while for the brain to process what it's seeing. Number 4. The Valley of Frozen Bubbles. In Lake Abraham, Canada, divers have discovered a surreal sight. Thousands of frozen white bubbles, trapped in the ice like natural gems. These bubbles are actually methane trapped in the ice, a gas produced by bacteria that digest organic matter at the bottom of the lake. In winter, as the lake freezes, the bubbles become trapped in different layers, creating a mesmerizing visual effect. Divers who venture there say it's like floating in a starry underwater sky. Number 3. The Underworld Portal. In an underwater cave in the Philippines, divers have discovered what looks like a portal to another dimension, a perfectly circular rock formation that emits glowing blue bubbles. The Blue Cathedral, as it's been nicknamed, is a natural phenomenon caused by the way sunlight passes through a crack in the rock. As air bubbles rise through this natural circle, they catch the light and create a light show that looks like pure magic. Local divers say the best time to see this spectacle is at noon, when the sun shines directly into the opening. The water is so clear that you can see every detail of the cave walls, all covered in phosphorescent coral that looks like multicolored stars. Number 2. The Undersea Earthquake Symphony. Imagine diving deep into the ocean when suddenly the planet itself begins to sing a terrifying tune. That's exactly what happened to one diver who recorded something unique. The sound of an underwater earthquake. What began as a small disturbance in the water quickly turned into a surreal experience. The normally calm and quiet waters were filled with deep rumblings and unsettling creaks, as if the earth were stretching and groaning. The sounds, completely unlike any ordinary underwater noise, created a haunting symphony that sounded more like a horror movie soundtrack than a natural phenomenon. The earthquake, which measured a magnitude of 6, provided a unique oral record of the power of our planet's geological forces. Number 1. The Graveyard of Marine Dinosaurs. In the Chilean desert, very close to the ocean, divers found something that changed everything we knew about marine dinosaurs. An underwater cemetery with more than 40 perfectly preserved skeletons. These creatures lived 70 million years ago and stayed there, hidden underwater all that time. They ranged from babies to giant adults, some measuring over 10 meters long. The most incredible thing? Many even have pieces of fossilized skin. It's like a window back in time to the age of the dinosaurs. Scientists even found egg fossils, which proves that these big guys always return to the same place to lay their eggs, just like sea turtles do today. Which of these discoveries shocked you the most? Tell me in the comments below. Take advantage and click on this video that is now appearing on the screen because I separated it especially for you. Well, that's it, and until next time, Curious One.